I was walking around downtown San Antonio, and over the course of about an hour and a half, I had 4 different people comment on this bag right here. Now, this is the Musette Business Bag from Bleu de Chauffe, and I've done this walk dozens of times with dozens of different bags, and I've never had that kind of experience. So first off, I am a Mexican kid from South Texas, so if I butcher any of the pronunciations in today's video, just bear with me and literally pardon my French. So fun fact, I have a huge appreciation for the country of France, and I am super grateful for their contributions to the city of San Antonio. And honestly, we're gonna be forever indebted to the country of France. And somewhere in the French countryside, there is a small workshop where these bags are handmade. Now, Bleu de Chauffe is really known for their exquisite leather and canvas goods, their high quality, attention to details, and that's gonna lead me into my favorite thing about this bag. So this Musette Business Bag is Bleu de Chauffe's take of a classic French reporter style of bag, a worker style of bag, and they modernized it a little bit by adding like an internal laptop sleeve, but they maintain that classic look, but added a little bit of luxury and style to the bag with the beautiful vegetable tan leather accents that you'll see here on the binding, the handle, and the shoulder strap. Now, due to the nature of my channel, I deal with so many different bags, so when makers take time and put attention into the small details, I really notice quickly. And my favorite thing about this bag is probably the opening mechanism. Now, it is a gold hardware and is a push button clasp, and just the beautiful detailing on the buckle, the coloring itself. It has the name of the company, Bleu de Chauffe, laser engraved into the side of the buckle, but the knurling pattern on the push button itself was really impressive to me, not only for its aesthetics, but it's also for its function. It's actually very functional. It provides a nice grip and texture to help you get this push button mechanism open every single time. So those are the little small details about this bag that I really appreciated. Another place I saw these small amount of details again is the leather handle, the engraving into the buckle here, into the button, into the leather handle, and of course the way to attach and detach this shoulder strap is much like a nice leather belt. Now, you could have gone with some metal hardware, plastic hardware. It wouldn't fit this bag. Leather was the way to go, and Bleu de Chauffe does use the vegetable tan leather, so it's a little bit more eco-friendly. And just the beautiful details and the attachment system into this belt buckle here. You have this nice leather reinforcement here on the side of the bag, and then of course the corresponding like bronze hardware. So one thing I do want to mention about this leather belt style of connection point for your shoulder strap here is it does have leather hardware. And as you maneuver this bag around, put this bag down, pick it up, the leather hardware is going to dig into the side of this leather reinforcement bracket for your structural integrity of the shoulder strap. So you're going to pick up some scratches, some gouge marks, things of that nature. And that's all part of the patina of this bag. It's going to look like a bag well worn. So if that's not a look for you, just keep in mind that this bag swings, you will pick up some scuffs and marks due to the side of the metal hardware. All of that leather trim and metal hardware really tie in the main fabric of the bag, which is a 18-ounce lick wax serge canvas from British Milliron. Now, the thing that really stuck out to me about this canvas is the way it feels. It feels really rugged. It feels really durable, almost comparable to like a 1000D Cordura. Now, this is not nylon, it is canvas, but it just has that sense of durability and ruggedness to the bag. Now, it is coated in a dry wax canvas, so it's not going to have a shine or sheen. It's not going to look wet like some other wax canvas bags. And dry canvas is honestly my favorite. If I had to pick between wet or dry wax, I much prefer the dry wax. Now, because it is dry wax and because it is canvas, it will pick up a stray pet hair here or there, or maybe some lint. So this is a bag that will need a lint roller applied to it occasionally. But overall, even with 5 dogs, yes, I have 5 dogs, this bag has remained extremely good looking and actually hasn't picked up too many pet hairs. So sometimes with these higher end luxury premium bags, in order to maintain that aesthetic, there's usually some functional trade-offs involved in that. And this bag kind of has that as well, depending on how you look at it. Now, if you're comparing this to a traditional messenger bag, a crossbody bag, there is no real quick access on this bag. You do have one pocket on the back here that has a magnetic buckle, but it's just a big giant pocket in the back, so that's going to be your only external pocket. So from a quick access standpoint, you're not really going to get that here from this bag, and it is a two-part opening to this bag. So you have to undo the handle at the top and then push the clasp in the center to get into the bag's main compartment. So again, if you're comparing it to a traditional messenger, it could be a little bit slow, time consuming, but if you think of this more as a classic briefcase, you know, the old school Mad Men style of briefcase where you have to put down and open your bag, this is kind of going to operate in the same fashion. So now I will say that after a couple of days of just carrying this bag, the button up at the top started to wear in, the clasp felt a little bit more worn in, just the whole bag in general became a little bit softer. So as I'm walking with the bag, I was actually able to one hand operate the button up at the top and one hand operate the clasp of the center button. Now I will say something about the center button here. If the bag is on the table and there's no pressure being applied to the bag, it can be a little bit finicky to open the buckle because it requires some resistance, especially if your bag's not fully packed out. When it's on body, it's pushing against your body, no issue opening and closing the hasp every single time. So just something to be aware of. And like I said, if you think about this more in a traditional briefcase style, you're not going to access a briefcase you know, on body. Kind of the same here, but I was able to do so just after a few days of everything just breaking in nicely. I don't think you can really argue the materials and aesthetics of this bag. It's just simply beautiful. But one thing I really like about this bag as well is its simplicity. And in my opinion, some of the best bags in my collection are its simplicity. So yes, you do have that two-step opening to get into this bag, but the overall layout of the internal of this bag is super simple. So once you get into the interior of this bag, you have two giant drop-in pockets up at the front, no organization there, and then you have the main compartment. Now, this is the laptop section here. I currently have my 14-inch MacBook Pro loaded up in here. Now, you can kind of see, this is what kind of bugs me about the laptop section here, is that it's very wide and there's no way to cinch it down and keep it so you can get into your main compartment a little bit easier. It always just kind of has this big mouth. Now, the cool thing about this laptop sleeve, and really useful, is that it's actually removable. It has two buttons on the back and you can slide out this laptop sleeve altogether. Now this is a feature that I've actually had a lot of comments over the last several months about, oh, I love that messenger, I love that satchel, I just wish it didn't have a dedicated laptop sleeve because I don't always carry one. So this being removable is super awesome. Now I did have my 14-inch MacBook Pro loaded in there, but I can load a 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is a cutout, the same dimensions, and this laptop sleeve will hold this 16-inch MacBook Pro and it will fit into the bag no problem. Now, if I had one real criticism of this bag, the laptop sleeve is where it would be. It is just a simple piece of felt, and in my opinion, this is a $427 bag, so it's not exactly cheap, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, small attention to details, everything you want, but the laptop sleeve kind of felt like an afterthought. It's just a piece of felt. Now, because it's removable, I think if they were to dress this up a little bit, add some leather binding, maybe put a way to put some magnetic closures for those who are carrying smaller computers, bigger computers, you don't need it, but if they were to offer a more premium version of this laptop sleeve, one that would be befitting of this bag, I think that would be a great option, even if it were an upgraded option to upgrade to a more premium style of sleeve. Because if I'm in the office and this bag is at my desk, I want to go to a conference room and to take a meeting in a different room, I can slide my laptop here and be on my way with my nice laptop sleeve. So while it is nice, it's felt, I think it could be done in a more Bleu de Chauffe style to fit this bag. Now, as far as the rest of the internal of the main compartment, let's move this out of the way. Again, simplicity is king, and that's what you're getting in here. There's only one additional pocket on the inside of this bag, and it is this zipper pocket. So this is actually the only zipper anywhere on this bag, is in a small simple pouch. It does have buttons on the back as well, so you can clip this in to the front of the bag or just use this as a simple pouch like I have been using it. Now, the cool thing about Bleu de Chauffe bags is that they are handmade from start to finish by a single artisan, and at the end of the completion of the bag, your artisan will sign and date the bag for you. So I want to say thank you to Melissa for constructing this beautiful bag that I will cherish for many years to come. Now, nothing else in this bag here, I just have all my stuff loaded out, and I'll show you exactly what we got loaded up a little bit later. So it does have a pretty sizable footprint here. I have my Airpods Maxes, I got a notebook, and I've got my Evergoods CAP1 with all of my tech that I need for work. And I also have an umbrella in here because the weather was looking a little shady there, but all that stuff fits in here quite nicely. Now this bag's capacity is listed at 16 liters, and if I'm going off of just a pure feeling, I would say the bag is a little bit closer to like in the 12-liter range. I can see how I have it packed out. I've got my 14-inch MacBook Pro, AirPods, and you know, it's not overburdened by any means, but it is pretty full. And you throw the zipper pouch in there, and in here I'm just got, you know, just little things I don't want to lose: my gum, chapstick, eye drops, my keys. It's just a simple pouch, no organization on the inside there, but even with just this, it seems like it's not overly stuffed, but definitely full. Now the two front pockets are actually very great because they do have a lot of volume. On this side here, I have my custom ultra pouch with sunglasses on this side. Thanks Nix for the custom sunglass case there. And then on this side is where I have like my bulky, this is a 20,000 milliamp power bank here for my laptop and my laptop stand. So plenty of room for additional gear. And like I mentioned earlier, you do have one external pocket on the back that does have a magnetic button to keep it closed. And great place to put like your cell phone for quick access when you're walking with this bag. This is typically where I put my phone because I was able to grab it without actually having to open up the entire bag. So while I do feel this bag is smaller than the 16 liters of capacity, you can still carry quite a bit of gear in here. You can get a lot of heavy gear in here, water bottles, cameras, all that will fit. The bag does stand up extremely well on its own, kind of no matter how I packed it up. It has a nice square bottom. Now it's not padded, so if you are carrying those expensive cameras and lenses, it's just something to keep in mind. But what surprised me is the carry comfort of this bag actually. So it has a simple 1.5-inch webbing strap here, and when it didn't show up with the shoulder pad, I thought that was going to be an issue, but I can honestly say fully loaded with a work loadout just like I have right here, I wore this bag for hours on end and I didn't even flinch. The comfort was actually amazing, and I'm super surprised because I just reviewed a different bag and I was fiddling around with the comfort on that 10-liter bag, but this one I would say in the 12-liter range was extremely comfortable. And then you having two carry modes, in addition to the shoulder strap, you have the nice grab handle here, and you can carry it like a traditional briefcase. Now the leather is very comfortable, but I just love this handle in general because you know, reaching over from the passenger side of the car to grab this bag, maneuvering this bag, this handle is very useful, very nice. And even if you were to carry this bag by the main handle, I think the leather support here provides a nice grip and a nice cushion on the canvas handles. So currently at the time of filming, this bag is going to be available in several different colors. Now this is the khaki style here, and I'm guessing that's because of the shoulder strap material. It's actually like a light olive color, very green. I love this subtle green with the brown vegetable tan leather. I mean, just chef's kiss. Now this one here is actually sold out, and I think I might have actually got the last one because actually after I picked this one up, it went sold out on the site. So it's not completely sold out. They're making more, and as of right now, the time of filming, it looks like the new batch will ship in October for this particular colorway, and in my opinion, probably the best. But I mean, honestly, they all look really good. Now this bag does retail for $427 US current at the time of filming, and I do understand that that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money to spend on a bag. But as somebody who has spent a lot of money on other bags, especially heritage style of bags like this, I honestly think $427 is not that bad of a deal for this bag, all things considered. I'm sure somebody will fight me in the comments about that, but until you really hold this bag and carry this bag and you can see the craftsmanship and feel the materials, it's kind of hard to convey that on camera. But just given my experience from other small, handmade, heritage style of goods, I think $427 is actually a very good deal for this bag. So for some final thoughts on the Musette Business Bag from Bleu de Chauffe, the bag joy factor on this one was off the charts, through the roof. And I've talked about bag joy many times on this channel. It is the joy you get out of just looking at the bag. interacting with all of the bag's materials and hardware, and of course the joy you get out of carrying it. And you know, I know a lot of people just view bags as tools to get your stuff from point A to point B and everywhere in between, and they are very much a tool, but there's nothing saying you cannot enjoy that journey with your bag. And I really think that Bleu de Chauffe did an excellent job here on kind of preserving the heritage nature of these bags and keeping them very timeless, but pushing the designs forward in such a tasteful way to include like a laptop sleeve. So they're almost, like I said, preserving this timeless look and while advancing it at the same time. Now, these bags are expensive, and like I mentioned, just using my experience on having purchased many other hand goods in the same style myself, I do think the price is actually very good for this bag. Now, these are the type of bags that are going to serve you for a very long time, but they also the type of bags that are like heirloom bags. They're going to be able to pass these down to future generations. So this is a bag that you will not only cherish, but potentially many generations in your family could cherish also as well. Now, who do I think this bag is actually for? I do think it's for that person that wants that elevated look, somebody with a sense of fashion, and of course the business professional. Whether you're carrying this into the business office or you're a professor taking this into the university, I think it's a great alternative to the traditional briefcase, or if you don't want to carry a backpack but still want to look very sleek, very cool, and very professional. Now, if you have any more questions about the Musette Business Bag from Bleu de Chauffe, put those down in the comment section below. I respond to every single one. The goal of this channel will be to always help you find the right gear for you. Now, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please consider hitting like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. I want to say thank you to Bleu de Chauffe for sending out the Musette Business Bag for me to test and review, and thank you so much for sticking around for another one of my videos, but I hope to see you on the next one.